Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Read with Me. I am your host, Kelly Michelle. Thank you so much for clicking on the link if this is your first time. This is a virtual book club. We are focused on reading together separately. So I will choose a book. We will read that book throughout the month. And then I will post on Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays my thoughts and reflections from the chapters that we read together. So the goal is for us to read one book per month, 12 books together by the end of the year. And so we have been working through July's book, which is Lean In by Sheryl Sandberg. And so last time I went over chapter 9, and today I will be reviewing chapter 10. And then we just have one more chapter left in this book, and then we will be done. So before I get started reviewing my takeaways from chapter 10, I have this short disclaimer, which is in no way am I trying to present these ideas and concepts as my own. I am just simply sharing with you my thoughts and takeaways to encourage you to read the book yourself. All right, so chapter 10 is titled, Let's Start Talking About It. And here are my thoughts and takeaways. Number 1, talking can transform minds, which can transform behaviors, which can transform institutions. And number 2, merit can be manipulated to justify discrimination. Number 3, our preconceived notions about masculinity and femininity influence how we interact with and evaluate colleagues in the workplace. And number 4, leadership is about making others better as a result of your presence and making sure that impact lasts in your absence. And I really want to emphasize number 4 because I think it's a great definition of leadership. It's about making others better as a result of your presence and then making sure that impact lasts in your absence. And honestly, the first thing that just came to mind when I think about what leadership is, I think about sports and I'm excited because we are just a couple of months away from football season, and I really enjoy football, but that's just a side note. But I think about sports and who the captain of the football team is and the leadership that he plays, and how when you have a really good leader and a good captain on your sports team, that they really make a difference as far as how the team operates. And the workplace is the same thing. The workplace is full of people, and everyone within the organization makes up a team. The team at large, the corporation itself, which might have 15, 20,000 employees, but all of those employees are under, the umbrella of the corporation at large, like I just said. But then there's also divisions, and there's departments, and then there's smaller units and smaller teams. And so it could be that it's divided up until 10 to 15 people, or a team, a department that's 250 people. But the principle still applies, I should say, even if it's a team of 10 to 15 people to 250 people to a big corporation of 15 to 20,000 people. That leadership is about making others better. And then also it's about how your impact really is still present when you're no longer present. And there's a lasting impact in your absence. And so going back to the analogy of a football team, is that there's so many teams that have had such great success, but the success is in alignment to the type of leadership that they had. And also the leadership is not just like, for example, on the field, the quarterback, but the lasting impression that a coach has, and how they have shaped young men's lives that affect them down the road, that help them to have success as they go to the National Football League, or if they are, just moving forward in life, if they didn't make it to the pros and whatever they're doing because of the leadership that they had as coaches. And it's just really talking about how impressionable leaders should be, and that their presence should really be felt throughout the organization, way beyond them actually being in that position. If they leave that position, that there's still lasting impressions of their leadership when they're long gone. So that's what I really wanted to focus on chapter 10. And I really want to encourage you to read chapter 10. I didn't talk about it just in this short segment, but it really talks about the difference of how men and women are treated and how they're perceived, and how certain outcomes might favor a particular gender just because of the biases that someone might have. And it's very interesting. So I would really encourage you to read chapter 10. Next time, we're going to conclude this book by going over chapter 11. Just as a quick reminder, we are taking a respite for the month of August, so there will be no assigned book for the month of August. I will share by August the 15th what we'll be reading in September. So I hope that you enjoyed this time of having a month off. Before I leave you, I always like to leave you just with a couple of things, which is, one, take some time to read today, something that sharpens your mind, a good story, something that helps you grow. And number two, if you are enjoying this channel, please like, share, comment, and subscribe. I really would love to hear your comments. How did you enjoy the book? Did you have something that really impacted you or was a highlight to you in chapter 10? I would love to hear. And then always, I emphasize subscribing. In order for this virtual book club to grow, I need you to subscribe and to invite others to join this book club. So please do so. Thank you so very much for joining me today. And until next time, happy reading.